Demystify Selling with Microsoft. And today I'm going to do a recap of a interview I did with Carson Heedy from Microsoft a few weeks back. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, my video in that was really choppy, but the audio was good enough. But regardless, I still want to recap that because it's such an important topic that we discussed. And it's all about entering into Microsoft's year end. So we're coming up rapidly on the end of FY24 for Microsoft. And so, with that, what are the things that you can be focused on in the next few weeks that can make the biggest difference for your partners inside of Microsoft, for those sellers that you're working with? And I don't think it's any surprise that revenue is going to be the number one topic today. So for the next few weeks, when you can talk to a Microsoft seller about bringing a deal across the line in the next 15 to 20 selling days that we have left here, that's going to be critically important for your Microsoft counterpart. Think about, are you able to sell more Microsoft 365 licenses? Are you able to drive Azure commit or Azure contractual consumptions, right? And so it's going to be really important for you to focus on those deals that are going to help that seller hit their number. As sellers, we all want to hit our number. We all want to be recognized, whether that's through Microsoft's Gold Club, Platinum Club, whether it's through just achieving the number and having that success of getting 100% or better. So it's really, really critical that for those next few weeks, if you're trying to get the attention of a Microsoft seller, that you're aware of and cognizant of what's top of mind for them, what's a priority for the Microsoft people that you're working with. Something else you want to think about is what the revenue recognition sort of areas that are critical for them. So if they're behind on a certain number, do you have opportunities that can help them hit that? They might be ahead on one place and behind in another. So is there opportunities that are even more strategic for that seller that you can bring to the table that have the potential to close in the near future? So that's something that I would encourage you to really think about, is how can you help your Microsoft seller counterpart in the next few days, those next few critical selling days that we have. It can make a massive impact for them and us as partners as well. We still want to close deals, even if it might not be your fiscal year end, even if you're coming into the sort of middle of your year. Realize that your counterpart at Microsoft is at the end of their year. They're at a point in their sales journey that they've got to close as much business as they possibly can in the next few days. So with that, I'd encourage you to focus on those things that are sort of closest to the boat. I have a good friend at Microsoft who likes to say that alligator's closest to the boat, and deals that can be closed in the next few selling days are definitely considered alligators closest to the boat. So I'd encourage you to think about that. But at the same time, as a partner, we need to be thinking about, how do we help Microsoft in FY25? So we're only a few days away from the new fiscal, and we have to be aware of what are going to be the new priorities for Microsoft. I don't think it's any surprise that Copilot will be at the top of that list. I think that we don't need a crystal ball to know that. But what are you doing as a partner to start to prepare for that FY25? How do you help the Microsoft seller community hit the ground running in early, what they refer to as their H1 FY25? And I don't think it's any secret that there's a lot of downtime inside of Microsoft in the July timeframe. Although I will say, less than in the past years, I've seen Microsoft be more efficient about getting accounts assigned or reassigned in the new fiscal. I've seen Microsoft sellers be ready to hit the ground running in early July versus early August, or even in some years past, almost all the way through September, where it's been hard to get the momentum going back. But I think I personally have seen a shift in that. So I'd encourage you to today start thinking about, okay, does it make sense for us to start booking time on the calendars of our Microsoft counterparts in that mid to late July so that we can lay out our plans to help them be successful in FY25? And knowing that we're going to come up on our partners, if we're on a fiscal calendar, we're in the second half of our selling season. So I'd encourage you to not only work on first deals that you can close in the next few days, but also thinking about how are you going to go to market in the in the July, August, September timeframe. What are the programs you're going to run? What are those solution plays? Carson, who I mentioned earlier, Carson, he had a great. I just love the analogy of plays that get you paid, and in that sort of vein, he would be focused on what are the solution plays or what are the go-to-market initiatives that we as a partner community and our counterpart at Microsoft can double down on. So think about that and think about as Carson says, the plays that get you paid. What can you bring to the table in FY25 in their H1 in Microsoft's H1 where you can hit the ground running. You can already have a fully baked calendar of things you're going to do to help Microsoft move the ball forward. Whether you're in tech for social impact or you're a data and AI partner, whether you're focused on manufacturing, it really doesn't matter. We've all, as partners, got an opportunity to build these plays, to build these go to market motions, and to partner with Microsoft to bring those to fruition to help drive those plays that are really going to get everyone paid, get the partner paid, get the Microsoft counterpart paid, and at the end of the day, lead to a successful outcome for the customer. So I'm a big fan of that. I think that it's really, really important that we focus on those plays, be ready to hit the ground running in the July, August timeframe. And so that to me is something I wanted to share. It's something I believe is really important for us as a partner community is to not only A, help Microsoft today, but B, is be ready for tomorrow. Be ready for that H1, FY25 H1. Be ready to execute on plans to drive towards and against the Microsoft priorities. Think Copilot, think data and AI, all of these different areas. Although Microsoft may have some unique solution plays or some adjustments in priorities, I think that we can all in our individual areas have a good feel for what's going to be top of mind and how we can potentially lean in on that. And even if we don't know exactly, if we spend time today, then as Microsoft starts to release the new programs in FY25, as Dan Rippey and his team are starting to put programs out on the street, whether those are new funding programs, whether they're new solution designations, we're able to take them in stride. We're able to move forward and move quickly. Which brings me to my final topic I wanted to touch on, which is change. I don't think if you've been in the Microsoft ecosystem for any length of time, you know that every July it seems like Microsoft just shakes the whole world up, and we're all trying to and struggling to find out what's new, what's important, what should we be focused on. Well, in similar to what I mentioned about Microsoft becoming more engaged earlier in the summer months, I think that we're seeing fewer changes. We're still absolutely seeing changes. We're seeing account realignment, but Microsoft's doing it quicker. We're getting to the place where we can hit the ground running in a shorter amount of time. So although I am sure we will see plenty of change and that we will have to deal with that change, I suspect it's going to be a smoother transition. And this is just me looking into my crystal ball, but it's going to be less change and really not just change for the sake of change, but change to improve and to help everyone go faster. So with that, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you next week, and I'm hoping we will be back having some guests on the show next week, like you, and getting the attention of Microsoft in this busy time. I try and be respectful of the people that I interview, and but I think we'll start to see some guests, and I'm excited for what the next few weeks and months hold for partnering and really demystify selling with Microsoft. So thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon.